Okay, we're gonna go around Dyer perimeter. For those who are not sure where exactly the trail goes. Leaving from the main parking lot. And hopefully my new wider bars are not going to be an issue. I'm sure they will in squeeze and coming out of trash run, but we shall see. Trail should be in good shape today. Pretty heavy rains last night. So here's where we enter the trail. A bit of debris on the trail. Didn't do that very well. Okay. Roots, I'm sure, slippery today, but we'll try not to crash too often and not go too fast so people can recognize the trail. Some videos I've seen, it's been difficult to see exactly where the person is on the trail. Got my new Axis electronic shifting. See how that works today. So far, so good. People take different lines through this. That's the one I take. It's probably not as quick as going through the middle, but I'm used to it and I like it. There's the first route line. It's been dumbed down over the years, as has this second one. When we first cut it, we couldn't ride it. It took us about 10 tries to make it through without dabbing or crashing or whatever. But since then, it's been pretty consistent. And now, it's just easy. Those who are watching, please don't dumb down the lines. If they were cut and left a certain way, it was for a reason. It's to allow people to progress in their skills. Be afraid of crashing, get off and walk, or ride around it. There's usually a ride around, but let other people learn and progress, so that when they go to places like North Carolina, they're not scared to death. This is the new section we put in about 2 years ago along the turnpike. It's been worn in pretty well. Again, this is what happens when you first cut them. They're pretty raw, and some people complain that they're too hard, but after You have a few hundred people ride through it, and Ryan Commode fills in some of the mud holes with gravel here. It's very nice and pleasant to ride through. It's a new section. It was cut late last year, right before the race, but we didn't use it in the race because the racers felt that it hadn't quite packed in enough. You know how racers are. You wouldn't want to actually ride on raw trail. Sand is packed in well today. And then we're back here onto the original trail from 25 years ago. John and I started cutting this trail back in '96. We just thought, well, you know, we'll cut a little bit of single track so we don't just have the hill, and we'll see how it goes. We kept cutting until we had about 4 miles of trail, and then kind of stopped since we had made a loop. And we rode that for 20 years or so. And then I retired, and then a couple years ago I got back into mountain biking after recovering from a serious motorcycle accident, and thought, oh, I really like this trail, but there's so much more that I could add. So back we came and started adding pieces. There's an alternate line up this rock, back down. So I started cutting. John, when he came back from North Carolina, helped out, and we added another couple of miles of trail over the next 2 years. We finished up this spring before he went back to North Carolina, and I like the trail. It's one of my favorites around. It's completely different than JD.